Ladies and gentlemen, greatness is not reserved for a chosen few. It is not determined by your background, your past mistakes, or the circumstances you were born into. Greatness is a choice. And today you have the power to make that choice. But let's be honest, many people never step into their greatness. Why? Because of fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping outside their comfort zone. But here's the truth. Fear is a liar. Every great person you admire once stood where you stand today, faced with a choice to let fear win or to push forward despite it. If you want to be great, you must adopt a growth mindset. Understand that failure is not the end, it's a lesson. Every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. The greatest minds in history, Edison, Oprah, Steve Jobs, they all failed before they succeeded, but they kept going, and so must you. Another truth about greatness, it requires responsibility. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success. Your life is your responsibility. The moment you stop blaming others, your circumstances, or bad luck, that is the moment you take control of your destiny. Of course, greatness isn't easy. It demands hard work, persistence, and discipline. When others sleep, you must rise. When others quit, you must persist. When others settle, you must push forward. Because greatness does not come to the lazy or the weak. It belongs to those who refuse to give up. And remember this, who you surround yourself with matters. If you want to be great, surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who push you to be better. Your environment shapes your destiny. Choose wisely. But let me tell you something even more powerful. True greatness is not just about what you achieve, but about how you serve others. The greatest leaders, the greatest entrepreneurs, the greatest human beings are those who give, who uplift, who add value to the world. Think about it. Every successful person you admire, every great leader, every champion, at some point made a decision that changed everything. They decided to stop settling. They decided to take control. They decided that their past would not define their future. The truth is, your life today is the result of the decisions you've made up until this point. And if you're not where you want to be, then it's time to make a new decision. One that moves you forward instead of keeping you stuck. Because here's the reality. Indecision is a decision. Every time you hesitate, every time you let fear dictate your choices, you are deciding to stay the same. But when you take control, when you commit fully to your goals, that is when transformation begins. That you'll fail, and for too many people, these voices become their reality. But let me tell you something. Fear is a liar. Doubt is a thief. They exist only to hold you back from the life you were meant to live. The most successful people in the world didn't become great because they had no fear. They became great because they moved forward in spite of it. Think about it. What if every great leader, every innovator, every champion had let fear stop them? What if they had listened to their doubts? The world would be missing some of its greatest minds, inventions, and achievements. Fear only has power if you give it power. Doubt only wins if you let it win. The key to overcoming them is action. When you take action, fear loses its grip. When you push through doubt, confidence is built. Every step you take forward weakens the hold fear has over you. So ask yourself, are you letting fear and doubt control your future? Or are you willing to take the leap, trust yourself, and go after what you truly want? Because the moment you stop letting fear make your decisions, you start stepping into the greatness that was always meant for you. The obstacles or opportunities, whether you learn from failure or let it defeat you, and whether you grow or stay the same. A fixed mindset says, I'm either good at something or I'm not. A growth mindset says, I can improve, learn, and get better. This simple shift in thinking separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. Every great achiever, from athletes to entrepreneurs, understands that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey to success. They don't see setbacks as proof that they aren't capable. They see them as lessons to grow from. If you want to be great, you must embrace lifelong learning, resilience, and self-improvement. Every challenge is an opportunity to sharpen your skills. Every mistake is a stepping stone to success. The only real failure is refusing to try. So ask yourself, do you see challenges as reasons to quit or as opportunities to grow? Do you believe your potential is limited, or do you believe you can always improve? The answer to these questions will shape your future. Your responsibility. No one is coming to save you. No one owes you success. No one will work for your dreams the way you should. The moment you fully accept this, your life begins to change. Too many people blame their circumstances, their past, or other people for where they are. But here's the reality. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to be a victim of your circumstances, or you can choose to take charge of your life. The choice is yours. Taking responsibility means no more excuses, no more blaming others, no more waiting for the right time. It means looking in the mirror and saying, if I want a better life, it starts with me. It means taking ownership of your actions, your decisions, and your growth. It means understanding that your future is in your hands. When you embrace responsibility, you take back your power. You become the creator of your destiny, not just a bystander. Hard work and persistence are the price you must pay for success. Talent alone won't get you there. Luck won't sustain you. Only those who are willing to put in the work, day after day, no matter the obstacles, will reach the top. The truth is, most people give up too soon. They start with excitement, but the moment things get difficult, they quit. But winners keep going when others stop. They push through failures, rejections, and setbacks because they understand that success is not about how fast you get there. It's about how long you're willing to keep going. Look at any successful person, and you'll see the same pattern: hard work, persistence, and discipline. Athletes train when no one is watching. Entrepreneurs work late nights when others sleep. Leaders keep learning and improving even after they've achieved success. They don't stop because they know that greatness is built on consistency. But here's the key: hard work alone is not enough. You must also have patience. Growth takes time. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a month and underestimate what they can achieve in a year. The real winners are those who stay committed for the long. Or indirectly plays a significant role in our lives. It shapes our present, influences our future, and determines the kind of world we will leave behind for the next generations. Ignoring this issue comes at a cost. We have already seen its effects in real-life examples, statistics, or consequences. When we fail to address speech topic, we allow problems to grow, solutions to slip away, and opportunities to be missed. But when we take action, when we educate ourselves and others, we open doors to progress, innovation, and lasting change. This is not just a global issue, it is a personal one. It affects our families, our communities, and our daily lives. Each of us has a role to play, whether big or small, and that is why today's discussion is so important. Because together, we have the power to bring about positive transformation Every great change in history began with awareness. And today we are here to raise awareness about this issue is not just something we read about in news headlines or hear about in passing conversations. It is real, it is urgent, and it affects us all. Whether we recognize it or not, it plays a role in shaping our lives, our choices, and our future. What happens if we choose to look away? The cost of inaction is far greater than we imagine. Provide specific consequences, economic, social, environmental, or personal. If we do nothing, the situation will not stay the same. It will worsen. But by addressing this issue now, we have the power to create a better tomorrow. The good news is that change is possible. We have seen throughout history how people, communities, and nations have overcome challenges through awareness, action, and perseverance. By working together, educating ourselves, and taking and our future. It influences our decisions, our opportunities, and even the world we will leave behind for the next generation. Time is not on our side. The longer we ignore this issue, the more damage it causes. We have already seen the consequences. We mentioned real-life examples, statistics, or current events related to the issue. If we do nothing now, the situation will only escalate, making it harder to reverse the negative effects in the future. Let's take a moment to imagine a future where we choose to ignore this problem. What will happen? The truth is, inaction is not a neutral choice. It is a choice with serious consequences. If we fail to address this, we risk list-specific social, economic, environmental, or personal consequences. The cost of silence and inaction is far too great. But there is hope. History has shown us that when people come together with determination, great change is possible. We have the power to reverse the damage, to create solutions, and to inspire others to take action. Mention any existing solutions, success stories, or ways people can contribute. It starts with awareness, but it doesn't end there. It must be followed by action. Now the question is, what role will we play? Will we be bystanders, or will we step up and make a difference? Each of us has a responsibility to educate ourselves, to raise awareness, and to take meaningful steps toward change. The future is shaped by the choices we make today. So let us not wait for someone else to solve this problem. Let us be the ones to take the first step toward a better tomorrow. Influences our choices, our opportunities, and even our future. Here's a fact that might shock you. Insert a compelling statistic or surprising fact related to the topic. This number is not just a statistic. It represents real people, real lives, and real challenges that demand our attention. Now think about this. What if this issue affected you or someone you love? What if in the near future you had to make a difficult decision because of it? Would you feel differently about it then? The truth is, none of us are immune to its consequences. Many people believe that. Common misconception about the topic. But is that really true? When we look deeper, we see that the reality is far more complex. We cannot afford to rely on myths or misinformation when real change is needed. So I ask you again, knowing what we now know, can we really afford to stay silent? Can we allow this issue to continue without action? I believe the answer is clear, and it starts with each of us taking responsibility. Today, we are not just here to listen, we are here to learn, to think, and to explore real solutions. As we continue, I encourage you to ask yourself, what can I do to be part of the change? Because change begins with awareness, but it succeeds with action. Decades, even centuries. By exploring where we've been, we can better understand where we are now and where we need to go. The roots of this issue can be traced back to specific historical event, era, or movement. During this time, explain the key factors that led to the problem or shaped the situation. What started as, described early stage, gradually transformed into the challenge we face today. Throughout history, there have been pivotal moments that changed the course of. One of the most significant was, this event demonstrated was a decision major historical event. This event demonstrated to the current situation. It serves as a reminder of how decisions made in the past continue to affect us today. History has taught us valuable lessons about conspiracy. We have seen both successes and failures in how societies have dealt with this issue. For example, mention a past attempt at solving the problem. Was it successful or did it fail? By learning from these past experiences, we can avoid repeating mistakes and build a stronger future. As time progressed, this issue evolved. What may have started as historical context has now become a modern version of the issue. Factors such as technological advancements, social changes, and economic shifts have played a role in shaping it into what we see today. Although times have changed, the core of the issue remains. The same struggles, debates, and challenges we faced in the past are still relevant. I remember the day I faced one of my biggest challenges. I was standing at the starting line of my first marathon, heart pounding, legs already feeling weak before I had even taken my first step. I had trained for months, pushing through early mornings, aching muscles and self-doubt. But at that moment, staring down 26.2 miles of uncertainty, I questioned whether I had it in me. The first few miles were easy, adrenaline carried me forward, but by mile 18, exhaustion hit me like a wall. My mind screamed at me to stop. It was in that moment I learned something invaluable. Progress isn't always about speed or ease, it's about persistence. Step by step, breath by breath, I kept moving. And when I finally crossed the finish line, I realized something powerful. Our limits are often just illusion, built on the persistence of those who refuse to give up. Without resilience, innovation stalls, progress slows, and challenges seem insurmountable. Think about the advancements we rely on today. Medical discoveries, technological revolutions, and even the civil rights we now consider fundamental. None of these were achieved overnight. They were the result of people pushing forward despite obstacles, despite setbacks, despite doubts. But here's the problem. We live in an era where instant gratification is the norm. When results don't come quickly, many give up. When challenges arise, some choose the easy way out. If we allow this mindset to define us, we risk losing the very spirit that drives progress. That's why resilience isn't just a personal strength, it's a societal necessity. It shapes leaders, empowers communities, and inspires future generations to keep striving even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Because the truth is, every success story, whether personal or collective, begins with the decision to keep going. If resilience is the key to progress, then the question becomes, how do we cultivate it? How do we, as individuals and as a society, ensure that we don't back down when challenges arise? First, we must shift our mindset. Failure should not be seen as the end, but as part of the learning process. Schools, workplaces, and communities need to normalize setbacks and teach that persistence, not perfection, leads to success. Instead of asking, did you succeed, we should be asking, what did you learn and how will you move forward? Movement, every breakthrough, and every moment of progress can be traced back to a single person who decided to take action. And the truth is, each of us has that power. We don't need to be in positions of authority to make a difference. Change happens in the small, everyday choices we make. It's the student who refuses to give up on a dream despite setbacks. It's the entrepreneur who keeps going after multiple failures. It's the teacher who inspires students to think beyond their limitations. Resilience isn't just about personal success. It's about setting an example for others. When one person stands strong, they encourage others to do the same. A single act of perseverance can ripple outward, inspiring families, communities, and even entire generations to push forward instead of backing down. So if we want a stronger, more resilient society, it starts with us, with the way we face challenges, the way we lift others up, and the way we refuse to settle for less than what we're capable of. Because in the end, real change begins with the courage of individuals who choose to keep going. While individual resilience is crucial, lasting change requires support from larger systems, governments, businesses, and organizations that shape our societies. These institutions have the power to create environments where perseverance is not just encouraged, but rewarded. Governments play a key role by investing in education, mental health, and social programs to equip people with the tools they need to overcome challenges. Policies that promote equal opportunities, economic stability, and access to resources allow individuals to push forward, even in the face of adversity. When governments prioritize long-term solutions over quick fixes, they foster a culture of resilience that benefits entire communities. Organizations, whether in business, education, or social sectors, also have a responsibility. Workplaces should encourage innovation and allow employees to learn from failure rather than fear it. Schools should teach perseverance alongside academic subjects, instilling the mindset that success is built through effort and persistence. Nonprofits and community groups can provide safety nets, mentorship, and opportunities that help people keep moving forward. Ultimately, governments and organizations must not only remove unnecessary obstacles, but also actively empower people to succeed. A resilient society isn't built by chance, it's built through deliberate actions, policies, and systems that uplift individuals and strengthen communities. Take Thomas Edison, for example. Before inventing the light bulb, he failed over 1,000 times, but instead of seeing those failures as defeat, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His persistence ultimately changed the world. Consider Oprah Winfrey, who faced poverty, abuse, and countless rejections before becoming one of the most influential media figures in history. She didn't let adversity define her. She used it as fuel to build an empire that empowers millions. Or look at Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years in prison but never gave up on his dream of ending apartheid in South Africa. Instead of succumbing to bitterness, he emerged as a leader who unified a divided nation. His story reminds us that even the greatest obstacles can be overcome with determination and vision. Even in business, resilience is the key to innovation. Apple was once on the brink of collapse before Steve Jobs returned and rebuilt it into one of the most valuable companies in the world. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. These stories prove a simple truth. Success isn't about avoiding failure, it's about refusing to quit. Whether in science, activism, business, or personal growth, the people who make a difference are those who keep going when others stop. Resilience isn't just a motivational idea, it's backed by research. Studies have shown that perseverance is one of the strongest predictors of success, both for individuals and for societies as a whole. Psychologist Angela Duckworth, in her groundbreaking research on grit, found that talent alone does not determine success. Her studies revealed that grit, defined as passion and perseverance toward long-term goals, is a better predictor of achievement than intelligence or natural ability. In fact, her research at West Point showed that cadets with higher grit scores were more likely to complete the rigorous training regardless of their test scores or physical strength. A choice to keep moving when obstacles block your path. A choice to believe in your own strength, even when the world tells you otherwise. The question is not if challenges will come, they will. You will face rejection, failure, disappointment, and moments when giving up seems like the only option. But in those moments, remember this: you have the power to persist. You have the power to push forward. You have the power to succeed. History is not shaped by those who quit at the first sign of hardship. It is shaped by those who rise after every fall, by those who dare to keep going, by those who refuse to let failure define them. You can be one of those people. So today I challenge you, embrace resilience in your personal life, in your career, in your dreams. Choose to persevere. When doubt creeps in, silence it with action. When failure knocks you down, stand up stronger. When the road ahead looks impossible, take the next step anyway. Because the truth is, resilience is not just about reaching a goal, it is about becoming the kind of person who refuses to give up. And that is the kind of person who changes the world. Every great achievement, every moment of progress, and every success story begins with the decision to keep going. The decision to rise above challenges, to embrace setbacks as stepping stones, and to refuse to let failure be the final chapter. So I ask you today, what will you do with your challenges? Will you let them stop you, or will you use them to grow? Will you step back in fear, or will you push forward with determination? Start small, but start now. If you've been hesitating on a dream, take the first step. If you've faced rejection, try again. If you've encountered failure, learn from it, adapt, and move forward. Your resilience is your greatest strength. Use it. And don't stop with yourself. Encourage those around you. Be the mentor who lifts others up. Be the friend who reminds someone of their own strength. Be the voice that says you can do this. Because when we build resilience together, we create a society that is unstoppable. Research, but how do we take these lessons and implement them in our daily lives? First, we must embrace failure as part of growth. A study from Stanford University found that individuals with a growth mindset, those who see challenges as opportunities to learn, are far more likely to achieve long-term success than those who fear failure. The key is to reframe setbacks not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. Second, we need to develop daily habits that build perseverance. Research shows that small, consistent actions, such as setting clear goals, maintaining a positive routine, and practicing self-discipline, lead to long-term resilience. Whether it's an athlete training every day, an entrepreneur refining a business idea, or a student studying despite setbacks, persistence is built through repetition. Third, we must support resilience in our communities. Encouraging mentorship programs, mental health initiatives, and educational systems that teach perseverance can create a ripple effect. When individuals uplift one another, resilience spreads beyond personal success. It strengthens entire society. Finally, we must commit to pushing forward even when progress is slow. Every great achievement, from technological advancements to social justice movements, has required patience and perseverance. Real change doesn't happen overnight. It happens because people refuse to give up. So the challenge is this: will we choose resilience when difficulties arise? Will we keep moving forward when the path gets tough? The answer to these questions will define not only our personal success, but the future of our society. Some might argue that resilience is not always the key to success. Critics suggest that knowing when to quit is just as important as perseverance. That sometimes pushing forward can lead to unnecessary stress, wasted effort, and even burnout. They claim that walking away from an unattainable goal can be a sign of wisdom, not weakness. While there is truth in knowing when to pivot, resilience is not about blindly persisting in a failing path. It's about adapting and learning from failure. True resilience does not mean stubbornly refusing to change course. Rather, it means assessing setbacks, adjusting strategies, and continuing to move forward in a smarter way. Entrepreneurs, for example, often modify their ideas rather than abandon them altogether. Companies like Twitter and Slack started as entirely different businesses before pivoting into the successes they are today. Lastly, some argue that luck and privilege play a bigger role than perseverance in achieving success. While it's true that external factors influence outcomes, resilience remains the driving force that allows people to make the most of their opportunities. Even those with advantages still face setbacks, but it is their ability to persist through challenges that determines long-term success. Just as staying the course. How do we distinguish between giving up and making a strategic pivot? Entrepreneurs, for example, often abandon one idea to pursue a better one. Does that make them less resilient, or does it make them smarter? And what about the role of privilege? Does resilience look the same for everyone? Some people face greater systemic barriers than others. If perseverance is key to success, how do we ensure that everyone has the opportunity to develop it? Should society do more to support those who struggle against overwhelming odds? I challenge you to think critically about these questions. Resilience is powerful, but it is not one size fits all. It requires balance, adaptability, and self-awareness. So ask yourself, let's be honest. Resilience isn't always glamorous. No one wakes up excited to fail for the 10th time in a row. Imagine telling someone, hey, guess what? I got rejected again today. Living the dream. Yeah, not exactly Instagram worthy. But here's the thing, sometimes the best way to build resilience is to learn to laugh at the setbacks. Life has a funny way of throwing unexpected obstacles in our way. Your Wi-Fi will crash right before an important Zoom meeting. You'll finally start eating healthy only to be ambushed by free donuts at work. And let's not even talk about assembling IKEA furniture. The truth is, failure and frustration are inevitable, so why not embrace them with a little humor? Studies have shown that laughter helps reduce stress and improve problem-solving skills. In other words, a good sense of humor might just be your secret weapon for resilience. Let's be honest. Resilience isn't always glamorous. No one wakes up excited to fail for the 10th time in a row. Imagine telling someone, hey, guess what? I got rejected again today. Living the dream. Yeah, not exactly Instagram worthy. But here's the thing. Sometimes the best way to build resilience is to learn to laugh at the setbacks. Life has a funny way of throwing unexpected obstacles in our way. Your Wi-Fi will crash right before an important Zoom meeting. You'll finally start eating healthy, only to be ambushed by free donuts at work. And let's not even talk about assembling IKEA furniture. The truth is, failure and frustration are inevitable, so why not embrace them with a little humor?